name is Pamela Druckerman, and I'm the author of a book called Bringing Up Bebe, or in the UK it's called French Children Don't Throw Food. Well, I was really struck when I started researching this book that on the parenting websites, you'd have a section for pregnancy, and you'd also have a section often the same size for the couple. I think there's a lot of awareness in France that when a baby comes into the picture, the couple is really kind of at risk, that it's a fragile time. And there's just a lot more conversation, I think, about how to cope with that and how to create, how to fit the baby into the life of the family without the couple kind of being separated. I mean, you definitely don't have in France much co-sleeping and that sort of thing, which is, you know, the baby physically between the mom and dad. And I just think the whole conversation about, you know, what's going to happen, you know, what happens to the couple and what the couple should be willing to sacrifice when a baby comes is very different in France in general. I mean, these are very much generalities, and it's not what every French person does or every American does. But I think the French take for granted that after the first few kind of tumultuous months of baby rearing, you have to, they say, find your couple again. And French parents really do this. And they even have, I mean, the French state pays for abdominal and perineal re-education for women, which is, you know, partly for health reasons, but partly so a couple can resume their sex life again. I think the French model is that, you know, of course your life dramatically, you know, and radically changes when you have a child, and you want it to, but that the child also has to fit into the life of the family, and that's better for the child and for the parents, better for everyone. And they really stress children having autonomy and being able to handle being on their own and to be able to cope with some frustration and be able to cope with boredom. And, you know, my husband very much likes this model of parenting where you're not supposed to be sort of intensively engaged with the child at all times. The French believe, you know, it's very important to stimulate children and to talk to them and to, they say in French, to accompany them through their experiences, but also to let them be able to sort of figure things out on their own and not to praise them too much. I feel like I'm developing a Canadian accent as I'm speaking to you subconsciously. I would say, you know, the French, and you know, you see French dads at the playground and they're not, you know, following their children around, commenting on whatever the kids are doing. They're very much sitting on the sidelines and letting the kids play, and, you know, maybe even reading a newspaper. Who knows? So I think that's something that we've, as foreign parents in France, have tried to copy, tried to keep ourselves from praising our kids every time they go down the slide. But sometimes we break, we crack, and we do it anyway.